Would you propose to your lady during service time?
I don't understand. Must it be in church when church service, as in during service time? If you watch that video clearly, you see that the girl was actually leading worship.
She was.
She was leading worship, and the man came from behind and knelt down on stage in God's church. Is it the same church that Ananias and Sapphira fell and died? We have watered down Christianity.
We have
watered down Christianity. Christianity is a serious matter. When people are worshiping, they should be sober. You have come into the holies of holies where God is seated. You are proposing. It's a sign to show that what is happening in the world is what we want to normalize in the church. I blame their pastor.
The problem I am having here is the fact that a service is being interrupted for a proposal to happen. It is showing that there is disorderliness. This is a service. The lady is worshiping. Oga, calm down, sit down. When she finishes worshiping, she comes down. You can present the ring to her. That is the altar of God, for crying out. It is exalted. It should be revered, for crying out loud. There is no fear again in the church, and it needs to come back. I am so pained. I am pained, for crying out loud. There is no fear. How? Why?
There is a way we ought to conduct ourselves in the household of faith, because our conduct sends a message to our generation. With that introduction, I welcome you to Faith and Reason on Voice of One TV, a program designed to communicate the excellency of light and to convey truth in simplicity, in authority, and in clarity. And I will not be doing this alone. I have the honor and the privilege of having in the studio the boss lady herself, the woman that is full of virtue, full of glory, and full of grace. She goes by the name AJOSE. Hey, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. You know, all this healing and the weed cannot carry the head. Okay, it's swelling underneath. All right, thank you so much, Sam. And to you, in case you're just joining us for the first time, I say welcome. And if you're joining us, like you've been consistent, I say how far? Welcome to Faith and Reason. As you know, my name is ADEOGUN, and today is going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be a real conversation, guys. And you know, the most interesting part is that I'm not going to be the only girl on set today. You know, it's very... Before, Sam will always be coming with guys. But today, we have not just 3 people on set, but 2 people. And you know them already. They are not new faces. And we have with us Jane Emmanuel.
Thank you.
And Tankuma Makura, also known as TK.
Thank you very much, Ayigochu.
Yes, look lovely.
It's a privilege to be on the set once again. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Welcome. So before we start the conversation,
Yes.
you know, Jane, I've been looking at you. You're looking so ravishing and so stunning. You look very rested. Nobody's going to believe that you're a mother of one.
Yeah.
You know? So what has been going on your end? Give us just...
Well, the glory of the Lord is all over me.
I know.
Yes, well, practically speaking, I have been taking, time to rest because I really need it. The truth is, motherhood is not easy. So I have had, time to really rest. And I made a decision to not do anything yesterday. After work, I got home and I was tempted to do something that it's not like it was really important for me to do it, but then I was like, let me just try 30 minutes, and that's how 30 minutes will go from 30 minutes to 1 hour, to 1 hour, to 1 hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours, and before you know, 4 hours has gone, and I'm still engrossed in that. But I made that decision that I'm not going to do it, and I am so glad I did not, because, oh God, I slept for like, how many hours? Like 10 hours, but then it was just a few hours I slept. I didn't sleep so early, but I slept like a baby. No, I did not sleep like a baby because the person that said sleeping like a baby means you have to sleep well. Babies wake up like how many times? Especially when they are infant stage.
Yeah.
They don't sleep straight like that. You can bear witness with that, Sam.
So you did have your beauty sleep.
Yes,
And
I did.
I can relate. You know,
I
recently,
did.
everyone I meet or everyone that gets to see me, oh, you're getting weight. Excuse me, should I be looking like I'm suffering before? But, you know, there's one thing that comes with rest. Like me, beyond just having my job, I'm an artist, I'm a fashion designer, I do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Hello, you get this kind of thing like this. You will not stop, you'll not lose weight. So I just told myself that, you know what, after work, and when, you know, work takes a lot of mental stress.
It does.
A lot of mental stress. So I just tell myself, go back, rest, rejuvenate, eat well, sleep. You will not die.
I'm telling
the money
you.
needs you to be alive to
Yes, so.
spend it. So I agree with you. Rest
Yeah.
is very, 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 very good. It makes you even more productive.
Yes.
Well, TK, what has been going on in your end?
Well, before I say that, I think those of you that have children, you people threaten us.
Tell them.
No, it's not a threat.
It's a call for you to mount up.
You know-
Come up here.
You know, I have spiritual sons and daughters. So
I agree.
The stress is also there. Okay, not to downplay your part of the stress, but it has been very, very tasking,
Yeah.
especially because you have to keep up spiritually. You have to keep up with your job, and sometimes when you show yourself that you belong to God, a lot of people tend to want to hear from God, want to know from God, and you have to lend yourself as a tool to helping others. So you may not say you are a spiritual father, but at least you have been able to bring others up to speed with what God is doing in their lives, interpret the Bible to them, show them how to grow spiritually. So it has been tasking.
Yeah.
It's
TK
been
the
tasking.
evangelist.
So
TK the
Yes,
man
of
of
course.
You know,
God.
one beautiful thing I like about TK is his willingness to grow and expand. And you know, the truth is, growth is very painful.
Yeah.
It comes with it. He's very demanding as well. So I would say, well done. You're doing well, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Sam, the married man that used to pepper with the singles. Hello, sir. We see you. We see you.
Basically, for me, I've been contemplating around the quotes recently, and that is you don't know how far you can go until you give it a try.
Yeah.
You don't know how much you can get to achieve. You don't know how much you can actualize until you put in the work, until you decide to go for it. So it's been an interesting week for me. That personally, I've been trying to do a whole lot of thinking, a whole lot of writing, and a whole lot of speaking to myself that you can do this, it's possible, and also my mind has been revolving around that particular quote. You don't know how far you can go until you give it a try.
Wow.
So that's just mine.
That's beautiful. And one thing I like about you, Sam, is that you're a very strong man. It's not just physically, or like I see you put in the work mentally, spiritually, and it's beautiful. It's something that I would like to emulate. So well done.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad to be doing this with you. All right, today, pray for us, guys. Let someone not get beaten on this thing. Because we are bringing in a lot of banter. But trust me, we are not dragging anyone. We just want to bring balance as we usually do.
Yeah.
But we are going to take a quick break, and after the break, we'll show you a video that we're going to be talking about. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. So our conversation today is tied around this particular video. So imagine, well, everywhere is quiet, worship is going on, and something really beautiful. I would call it beautiful because I love love stories. But however, here is something that we really want to jump on. Check this video out.
And
interesting video. Honestly, when I saw it, I was like, oh, because I love love. However, there's been a lot of concerns. No, it shouldn't be happening. Proposals shouldn't be happening during service time. And but let's start with this question. To you, TK. Would you propose to your lady during service time or service hour?
Never.
Why not?
He said never.
Wait, where's the best place to tell the lady to marry you if not in the presence of God?
The house of God.
Exactly.
It makes it interesting and safe,
The
right?
presence of God is not the only place you can propose to anybody.
Wow.
Okay, TK, let's have it. What do you think?
Man, as in, I'm surprised that you guys are saying this. I don't understand. Must it be in church when church service, as in during service time? If you watch that video clearly, you see that the girl was actually leading worship.
She was.
She was leading worship, and the
She
man came from behind and knelt down on stage in God's church. Is it the same church that Ananias and Sapphira fell and died? We have watered down Christianity.
We have
watered down Christianity. Christianity is a serious matter.
Yes,
Okay.
It's a serious business. When people come to God, they should be sober. When people are worshiping, they should be sober. You have come into the presence of the holy. You have come into the holies of holies, where God is seated. You are proposing. You are proposing to a woman. What happened to after service? What happened to before service?
Yes.
What happened to other places? You know what I'm seeing in this video, what I'm seeing right now, is that people have carried the things that happen in club to the church. If you look at least 90% of the videos of proposal you see today, it happens in beer parlor and in clubs. You understand? So replicating it in church is like trying to make the church a safe haven for sinners. I'm not saying that the people that propose to each other are sinning, right? But it's a sign to show that what is happening in the world is what we want to normalize in the church. I blame their pastor.
Yeah.
I blame the pastor for permitting it.
I want to say something. I believe love should be demonstrative. I believe love should be expressive. Okay. I believe love should be seen by her and appreciated by her. And personally, okay, I just feel like it's safer when you do it in the house of God.
In the house of God. Besides, marriage is an institution of God.
What makes you think that
when you do it in church?
Okay, so if you do it in church and this lady you want to marry, the church lady, he's not having doubts about marrying you, and you do it in the house of God, the presence of God, and she bluntly tells you no. In the presence of God,
they know
it will become another matter that the lady said no to a brother in the presence of God.
Okay, so I want to believe something. When two people are planning to get married, there's a process. There's the fact where they have counsel. They've gone through, especially in the house of faith.
Of course.
There's that process where you go through marriage counseling. And definitely, if anything wants to happen in church, brother will not just climb the altar and do it. It has been given like permission. So there's this go ahead.
Yeah.
Or many a times people's proposal happen 1 week, 2 weeks before their wedding because they're already preparing. It's just for
formality.
Yeah, just let everyone know that we're getting married or make the girl feel special. And I don't know if I have a concern because I feel like the church is where love stories should grow.
There has to be a concern, really, because that you've met the marriage committee 1 week to your wedding does not mean that the wedding will eventually happen. There are weddings that happen, or that are called off 2 days to the wedding because something went wrong. It's either the genotype was not okay, or they lied about the genotype, or they lied about something, or the lady just decided that she's not marrying again. She just got a conviction, or she went and prayed again and said, no, she can't enter this marriage. There are cases like that.
This is on fire. I want to hear what you have.
Cases like that.
You have to allow me talk because I'm on fire concerning this matter. Honestly, why will, of all places, you choose to go and propose to a woman?
Of all places, really?
On the altar.
On the altar, really?
I don't know. For me, it's crazy. The timing that is wrong.
The
timing, it was in the heart of his worship session, and the lady that you're about to propose to was the one leading the worship. I feel personally, it was the timing that was wrong. It could have been done before the service, could have been done after the service, but I feel the location matters when it comes to this kind of important thing.
Now when he was saying something, she said that most of these couples that get to the proposed and stuff. You know, I'm actually preparing to get married too.
Oh,
So
awesome,
I'm looking at all those things. Now, it's not like the girl is not aware that the guy wants to marry her.
Yeah.
It's not new.
Yeah.
It means that whatever they are doing is acting. You know, I was telling one lady that really this thing is acting, because the lady snapped a set, said, this is how I like my proposal to be.
Yeah.
And I happen to be the brother that will do the proposal later. I said, if you already know how you want the set to be, how everything, it means that we are going to act this thing. She said, I don't know how you want to do it, but plan it in such a way that I'll be surprised. Let me not know the day that you want to do it, but this is how I want it to be. So when you want to act, is the church the best place to pick for your acting? You can always do it in any other good. If you want to do it in church, around church environment, is good, but not on a size. If you see that service, you know that, say, imagine that we have a big program like our International Eagles Conference, and that's where I want to go and propose to a sister.
While
that
Apostle is ministering.
While Apostle is there. It tells a lot about the kind of pastor they have in that church. That's why I said I'm blaming the pastor. I'm not just blaming the members. He should teach them to know that God's activity are serious activities. You know, even in the kingdom, there are weightier matters. There are weightier matters. And the issue of marriage, as far as I'm concerned, even though I want to get married, is not part of the weighty matters of the kingdom. It's not part of the weighty matters. Paul said, marriage is a choice. You choose to marry or you don't marry. It does not reduce the quality of your anointing or what God wants to do through your life. You choose to marry or not. So these are when you come to the church is a serious business. When you come to the church, let everybody know that we are coming for a serious business. It's just like the time of Noah. This is the ark. And Noah is saying, come so that you'll be saved. That time, people don't have time to be doing frivolities. When you enter the ark and you are safely in the ark, that's when you begin to ask whether we are going to eat or we are going.
I want to ask a question, just so that we have, because one of the reasons why we are here is to bring clarity, is to bring balance, is to bring some level of, understanding to these dynamics. Most of the atmospheres in restaurants, in locations where they eat food, most of the time it's polluted. People have done a lot of unrighteous activities there. So I feel personally that if we decide to propose in church, you are doing yourself a very honest, noble service. In terms of you are placing your card, you are playing your game in a safe place. So the question I want to ask is this. What are the tendencies that if you decide to propose in the restaurant where people have done a lot of, you will not be seen as somebody not spiritually sound, spiritually upright, looking at the fact that most restaurants, most places where
alcohol,
and all this kind of stuff. So the question I'm asking is it not safer? Is it not better? Is it not more noble that you do it in church? And I'm going somewhere with this question. Is it not more noble, more safer, more righteous, let me use that word, doing it in church?
There is no problem. I repeat.
Okay.
There is no problem with doing, with doing a proposal in the church. You can actually sit down, the brother sits down, the sister sits down, they look at each other, and he brings out the ring and say, I want to marry you. Will you marry me?
During
sit down. Not during the service. The problem I am having here is the fact that a service is being interrupted for a proposal to happen. It is showing that there is disorderliness. For me, when I saw the video, I wasn't, I know something beautiful was happening in the proposal. Of course, two people are getting married. But then I was not so excited that, I was like, the first thing I said, this is a service. The lady is worshiping. Oga, calm down, sit down. When she finishes worshiping, she comes down. You can present the ring to her. Do you remember, even in the Bible, in the tabernacle, the holy place, the holy place is not somewhere that anybody just enters. It is only the high priest that enters. Just picture it that place is the altar of God, where God dwells. And then now we are now permitted because Jesus Christ has come, grace has come, and many things are allowed to happen. But then there are boundaries to the kind of things that should happen in the house of God. That is the altar of God, for crying out. It is exalted. It should be revered. It should be revered, for crying out loud. There is no fear again in the church, and it needs to come back.
Yeah.
I am so pained. I am pained, for crying out loud. There is no fear. How? Why?
You know,
really?
You know, there is a view. There is a way we present church to the world.
Exactly.
That the world will honor what we are doing.
That's true.
You know, those days, I don't know whether those days is not so far, but those days, when you come to church, there is this mind that you come. You come with body, maybe you have gone around the world, things have happened to you. When you come, you just want to encounter God. Imagine coming to a church and then is somebody proposing in the middle of the service. If this, I don't support proposal at any point, whether it's opening prayer, praise and worship, or any point of the service. You want to do it in church, no problem. No problem. You can always use the church. And now you made mention of something of having making it sacred by doing it in church because of a lot of things that happen
out there, yes,
in public places. The truth is that public places are not necessarily bad places.
It's not all places
there
are good,
there are good places that you go, and in fact, I've been to hotels where in the hotel, no drinking, no smoking in this hotel. Many of them. So these are hotels that people go. Even as men of God, when people travel, we travel from home. You lodge into hotels.
That's true.
You cannot limit the kind of things that happen in that hotel.
Yeah, true.
So I'm saying the use of those places does not negate or tell on which kind of a person you are. Because even recently we planned the wedding of a pastor, and then the reception is going to be at an event center. And definitely those event centers, you don't stop the kind of activities that will happen there. Bad people will come and rent the place and do club. It depends on who is using the place at that time. You know, somebody told me this thing and said, do you know that gun is not a bad thing? I said, well, how do you mean gun is not a bad thing? He said, gun is not a bad thing. It depends on who is handling it. Yeah. If a thief is holding gun is dangerous. If police is holding gun, it's protection to you.
Right.
So you see, the location is not really the bad thing. It's what people do there. And if you are the one in possession of that location at that time, that location becomes a good place.
Yes.
Many men of God have proposed to their women in public places and event centers. It is very, very okay. It is good. Marriage in itself is because of the fact that we are Christians that we will be able to co-opt the thing into the church. But marriage is supposed to happen outside the church between the parents of the people intending to get married. You understand? But since we are Christians, we must identify also with the church. Church is a serious matter.
It is.
I will not stop saying this. Church is a serious matter because I see this as part of the plot of Antichrist. The Antichrist, one of the agendas of the Antichrist is to water down Christianity, not to end Christianity, to water it down. Just let everybody just be normal. Let sin be okay. Let's just be okay with So it's a way to water. If you can bring in activities, you always water down the most important thing about the church. If you can bring in a lot of other activities, you water down the main thing. The message will be watered down. We go into offerings, we go into dancing, we go into a lot of things, drama and the rest, and we forget the crux, the message. Remember during the time of Paul, he preached a message until somebody fell off and died. They brought the funny thing, they did not stop the message because the guy died though. They brought him back to life and continued the message. It means that there was something they needed to be ingrained in those people. I bet if you go back to that church and take inventory of the church members, you find out that a lot of people there are immature believers. And that is the reason why the power of God is even little in churches today. People are not willing to learn. Paul stood in the school of one Tyrannus for the space of 2.5 years, teaching the Bible every day. They were not playing games. They were not doing church sports. They were doing the Bible. When you teach people accurately, when they go out, they can live life based on what you have taught them. Yeah. So I expect that when people come to church, they should know that this is serious business. It's not time to come and joke. I'm not saying marriage is a bad thing or marriage is a joke, but there is a place for marriage, and it is not just when service is going. It doesn't fit.
All right.
Every Christian should
let me
be able
ask
to know.
this. Okay, love is a beautiful thing. Let's be honest. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And I personally have, many people outside there, they've had a very erroneous perspective of how the church operates. They believe the church is just one hard place where there's one judgmental God that you have to submit to, you have to subject to. And I feel for somebody coming to that service, seeing love being demonstrated can help to sanitize their hearts and help to just create this ambience and this horror of it is possible for me too.
Right.
I'm just trying to help us see it from different angles so that we don't become too stereotypic and don't become too is it the word judgmental now?
Yeah.
So I just want to ask now, okay, the question is this. For someone out there who feel like the church is a safe haven, the church is a safe place, and they want to do their love story, have their love script begin in the church. Is that a bad way to go about it?
I am suspecting you.
Me too,
I am suspecting
I'm just trying to be the hard one here. You get it?
No, I'm just suspecting you. And it's okay to be. Did you propose to your wife in the church?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't.
I just wanted to be sure. Meanwhile, a public proposal in the church is not the only way that, people coming from outside into the church, should see that as, this is,
There's
love is
here.
happening, love is here. There are other ways that love is shown in the church. That love you're thinking in your head is not by that public proposal. There is a kind of love you will get from your fellow brethren that you will feel and you will know that this
It's genuine.
is genuine. The kind of love that Jesus has for the church. So it is not by
In
that.
fact,
It is not by that.
Let me take it up from there, because when you talked about love, when people come to church, this is the kind of love they are likely to get.
Yeah.
The truth is that a lot of the people coming from the world, their context or their concept of love is different.
Yeah.
When they come, we, the church, needs to redefine their concept of love.
Exactly, that's another
Their concept
thing.
of love is public display of affection.
Of course.
When the pastor hugs his wife and maybe kisses his wife in public, oh God, there's so much love, we can feel free here. What they are seeing, when they say there is love here, what they are saying is that there is room for lasciviousness.
Yeah.
Where people can manifest flesh.
Yeah.
What I call love is that you are in need. Somebody sees your need.
And helps.
Even without asking, the person helps. I remember those days when we came to the church where I am currently. I was worshiping there, and one brother, the guy was praying vigorously. And I realized for 7 days of that program, the guy was wearing almost the same shirt.
Oh, my.
The Holy Spirit did not allow me rest. I was so troubled that the new shirts I bought, I washed them, starched them, ironed them very well, and I brought it to that guy. After service, I just tapped him. I just gave him the shirts. The next day morning session, I saw him with one. The other day, I saw him with another one. They fit him nicely. This is love.
That's
if somebody
love,
is
really.
coming
That's true,
into the
right.
church, when I entered 100 level in the university, the reason why I joined the fellowship that I joined, I don't know if I'm permitted to call their name, but the reason why I joined the fellowship that I joined is that I met two sisters. And they saw me, brother, where are you going to? You look stranded. I said, I'm going to Bayero University, Kano, and I don't know my way around. They said, okay, don't worry, we'll help you. That we are from there too. They took me to school. They showed me my hostel. After that, they collected my number. They called me, reminded me for service. They were not looking for anything. No. They were, that level of, in my mind, I was like, God, this is love.
I've had that experience.
This is
too.
love.
One of the times too, I think I was still in the university then, and I went for a conference. And this conference, it was in that conference I actually gave my life to Christ.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
So I went to this conference, and I saw the flyer everywhere in town. I said, okay, let me just go now. So I went there, packed my bags, and I went and I didn't make any plans for where I was going to stay. My school was really far from town. So when I came into that place, everybody, after the evening session that was the first day of the session, of the meeting, everybody was leaving and people were going to their houses and all. And I didn't have anywhere I was going to go. I was a student. I came in from Lagos to my school in Ebonyi State, and going all the way from Lagos, that was a distance.
Yes.
So I decided to stay back because of the conference, and that was where I found God good for me. So I was thinking, how do I get myself sorted out accommodation wise and all. And then there was this lady that saw me, and she was like, "What are you doing here?" I said, I don't have plans, as to where I should stay and all. And she said, okay, that I should give her a moment. And she went away and then came back, and then she said I can go with her to her place. The conference we had, I didn't stay with her only for the duration of that conference. She became a mentor to me.
Amazing.
She became a mentor to me. So I felt love. She taught me things. She had stayed in Ghana. She taught me how to cook. So I could feel her love tangibly. There were times I lacked money. I was a student. She didn't even know my parents. She didn't know where I came from. But she showed me love. She opened a door for me to come in, and she accepted my flaws. She watched me. She watched my weaknesses, helped me, taught me the things I needed to know as a young girl. I was conscious of because I saw her, I watched her life, and it was worth emulating. So I was grateful to the fact that I met somebody like that. And not just that I met her, she showed me love. She will leave her house. Then she was even preparing for her marriage. She would leave her house and give me the keys. I will stay there. Then when I would go back to school, she would say, I can always come to her place. She was a barrister. She stays in Enugu now. She got married to a doctor, and she's married with 2 kids. And we are still in touch till today.
Interesting.
So this is trying to tell you that proposal, love, public proposal is not a sign that there is love in the church. That is just drama, like TK says.
On a lighter note, when TK was sharing a story about someone going all over the place and coming to find solace in church, I just remembered in my head, just funny story, how someone, maybe that person just suffered a heartbreak, maybe he was jilted. And then the person got dumped, and maybe about to get married on the altar. They're coming to church and say, okay, let me find peace here. And then they come here, God, did you send me for this kind of thing? Just on a lighter note. But let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. There's more to come. Thank you for staying with us. The program is still Faith and Reason. And in case you're just joining us, trust me, you've missed a lot because the studio is on fire. All right. So our conversation has been on proposing in church, to have or not to have. So the conversation has really been a very dicey one. We've spoken a lot about should we do it, should we not do it, and the place of reverence in the church. Well, and do not also forget to follow us on all our social media platforms at Voice of One TV. So back to the matter. TK had mentioned earlier that it's more like proposals are more like acting. So do you now feel like these proposals these days are geared towards more like social media content creation? Because many times now, because you want to put out content that will sell and put you out there or show, there's a tendency to develop content. No matter, like, drop maybe your Christian principles to put out content. And if we check, I was going through the page of the lady, and I see that she's a worship leader, a beautiful one at that. But then I was a little taken aback when the music behind this love story was secular. Yes. So, however, would you say now that using secular music, it's bad? Because personally, I wouldn't say it's, except people want to cut my head off.
I am just looking at you like this, like that thing he wants to say.
He's looking at me. I feel like I'm in trouble.
I'm waiting for you to land.
But however, how do you feel about it? Yes, let me know. Because I'm not going to say anything.
Who is going to cut her head first?
No way! My head is not on the chopping board.
Thou shalt not kill.
Okay.
Because the moment you cut a person's head, the life is So, well, for me, what is secular, and what is gospel is gospel.
So what is secular music?
What's secular?
Yes, because for the fact that it's not slow paced or it doesn't have Jesus in it. Come on, guys.
Okay.
I love gospel music, and I'm a fan of rap. In fact, something interesting happened recently that we created content for a certain event, and a particular musician, a gospel musician sound was used, and there was a little bit of fire on the group. Like, this song, the best gospel, because it didn't sound the slow
Peace.
yeah. So, like, that one, the quick question on the group was, is it secular? Because is there a particular sound or something? Because it cannot all be all bad, because...
Music generally, we need to understand that in music, there are different genres of music. And we need to know that there are different genres of music. So, just because you don't know the other genres of music doesn't mean that it is just contemporary music that you know that you know. There is pop gospel. There are any kind of music you can think of. You can find it in the gospel. The truth is, we need to know that you see this thing happening in the world. It is the devil and his people. And they said, there's this saying that the devil does not know how to make. He only knows how to. Yes, he tries to make something that looks like the original, but it is not. The truth is, what we have in the church is original. It is pure. God gave it to us. So whatever we see in the world, it is the devil that is trying to copy. So if we are seeing something in the world that is not yet in the church, it means the church has not gotten a hold of it yet.
Okay.
It means we have not gotten a hold of it yet. So why will we say the song doesn't? It looks like what? No, it is not. We need to find it. We have it in the church. We have it.
Sorry, just to address some of the things you said, not to chop. Okay.
My head is not the chopping block.
First of all, if you want to, before I get into the girls posting a secular music on our content. Before you get to define what a secular music is, first of all, you have to look at the singer.
Yes.
That's the first point of judging a secular music. So you cannot be a secular musician and maybe because you were inspired and then you sang one thing to praise God, then we bring it and sing it in church. The fountain itself is not pure, because when you sing, it's out of your own life.
Yes, that's
you are singing out. So that's the first thing. And secondly, if you are a Christian singer, you are a gospel singer, and then you sing something that is contrary to what is in the Bible, we cannot also accept that.
That's true.
Because people have been in the faith and they have deviated before, they have backslided before. Satan spoke to Peter while Peter was with Jesus. And at some point, when Jesus rebuked Peter, he actually rebuked Satan. He said, "Get thee behind me, what? Peter." Because Peter at that time was representing Satan, not Jesus. There are certain gospel singers that at some point may deviate. We have seen people who are in the faith and then left the faith. So if at that point in time you begin to produce sounds that are inconsistent with what we consider pure, then if for the sake of our faith we allow that one to slide. Now, in instances where they say, it's a gospel singer that sang it, the truth is that what is the content of the song? Let's say the truth. Every song is supposed to be selling something.
Yes. It's sending a message.
It's supposed to be sending a message.
That's
just as if you say you have your... You know, when I said this thing that day and somebody was looking at me, I said, I wanted to invite a brother to church. And I thought in my mind, I said, if we invite a brother to church now, this brother is not saved. I'm inviting the brother so that the preacher that day will likely say something that will convert that brother. So my own part, maybe because I cannot preach, is to just get the brother to come to church. My question is that what if that preacher that day takes the church to be, today all of us have been here, let's not be serious with this service. Every message you preach must be serious. Every song you sing must be serious. It must be pushing an agenda. The people of the world are not joking. When you bring out the lyrics of this song of this secular artist, we see, if you dissect the lyrics, you will see how those people have been able to use songs to water down Christianity to water down morality.
And their spirits that actually sponsor the kind of songs that they do.
So when you look at those things now, you can be able to tell whether this song is gospel or secular. There are songs that are not, like for example, heavy metal. I don't know how you want to sing heavy metal song to convey Jesus, because most of the people that listen to heavy metal, the sound instrument, the song instrument, the way they design it, the way they sing it, they sing it for satanic. It's just as if the song Incantation in My Village, you modernize it and then you use some listen to play it and people dance to it. Those things they don't have there is no order to it. There's a way they just play it. It is in worship. Some of those songs are in worship to spirits. So in fact, me, I'm of the school of thought that not all genre of songs are even good for Christians.
Yes, that's true.
Not all. Meanwhile, I agree to the fact that there are different genres of songs. They can be rap, they can be worship, they can even be hip hop, but not all genres of songs are applicable to the church.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to know, check the songs that our fathers left for us. Check the ones that our fathers left for us. Which are the hymns? Go back to the hymns. You will find out that there is a pattern of music, and when you sing hymns, sometimes they are over 100 years, 1,000 years old, but they are still potent because they carry the spirit with which the men wrote the songs.
Can I chip in something just to buttress what TK is saying? I feel personally that one of the language that characterize true saintliness and sainthood, let me use that word, is the language of separation.
Okay.
One of the ways that we get to know that you are a saint indeed is that you are separated unto God. There are things that are done in this circular space that you don't allow within your space. I used to be I'm still a very radical, very rugged person. There are things that I will never, I remember I went somewhere to fix my hair, and then the guy was playing a circular song. I told him outrightly, I'm paying you for this time. You have no right to play a song that is going to defile me. So I said, stop playing that song, because at that moment, I'm paying you. So I have the right to dictate and to determine the tempo of the atmosphere. So, and I also remember I went somewhere to minister somewhere, and then I was in the car, the Uber car, and then the driver wanted to make everywhere interesting. I mean, just make it good for me, make me comfortable. So he was playing I wanted to go and minister. I was all charged up, prayed up, and ready to dispense. And then I entered the car, and the guy was playing a very serious circular music. I told him, stop. My host that was seated beside me was like, the way I told him to stop was so very bad. Stop. And the guy stopped the sound. That's because every sound you listen to will take you to a place. And every sound has a spirit behind it. So we need to be very careful.
And do you know what he just said now? It actually brings me to actually say that, you know, when you are in Christ, you're a new creature. You know, the things you used to do when you were in the world, there's just this thing that makes you, like he said, separation. So you cannot just be a believer and think that it is okay. I can just try.
No.
I can just have it doesn't have to be like 50 songs.
A little one.
Just like 2. I can just manage this one, just have this one. Because for me personally, it was difficult because I'm a music person. I love songs. I listen to songs. Yeah. I score songs. So it was really difficult for me to let go of this song. It was just like, I'm holding on to you. I'm not going anywhere.
This one motivates me.
I am not leaving you. And then I kept giving myself reasons to hold on to these songs. I said, okay, I can actually use this song to make my voice better. This lady sounds so beautiful. I can use this song to make my voice. I was just giving myself reasons to hold on to. But deep down, I know the impact that song has left in me. Because you need to, when you're looking at this, you're listening to the lyrics of song that talks about love that is not the kind of love that Christ has shown us and he has revealed to us as believers. You know that this thing, it is not it. So really, we need to check and really know that we are different from the people in the world. And another thing I also want to say is, I was saying it earlier when we were having a live discussion that, you know, we are in Christ, and there are people in the world. We are supposed to bring them from the world into the church, into Christ. We are not supposed to from where we are, as lights that we are, go and meet darkness and hug. You will not know when you are already
Romantic.
dining and feasting with Satan and his agents because you just want to go. It's beautiful. I love the lyrics of the song. I love there is nothing about that thing that is Christ and that reflects Christ. And you should not, rather you should bring them into Christ. There should be a winning. You are a light that should shine in darkness. So you are not darkness that should be overcome by. You're not light that should be overcome by darkness.
Yes.
So we need to really be conscious of that aspect.
Because if that girl is a worship leader and a powerful worship leader that has been ministering spirit, her first thought of a music to put in her video shouldn't be a secular song.
It shouldn't be at
by
all.
a well-known person that has declared that me, I'm not of God.
am not.
Do you understand? The singer of that song that she put in the background declared I'm not of God. I have nothing to do with God. I represent something else. And you, a worship leader, your own proposal, it means that even the bedrock on which her marriage is standing is secular. We take. There are a lot of things that are encoded in the actions we take. A believer that wants to post that kind of thing, the first thing he's thinking of, maybe there is one Frank Edwards song. Frank Edwards is a good singer of love songs. He has a lot of love songs, you know. So you should be thinking of something Christian, something you can put in the background, at least to portray who you are. I'm going to her timeline to see that she's a worship leader, and then at one point there is a secular. It tells a lot.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there are other gospel artists that sing beautiful love songs. They're out there, inspirational songs, motivational songs, just in case you are looking for any. So it's not you don't have to say that these people are the ones that their songs that their voice you don't have an excuse.
Wow,
you really don't. You have Jonathan McRae. There are other persons there that sing beautifully love songs. There was even a love song I used for my engagements. What's the name of a series? The song was so beautiful.
Amazing.
When you check the lyrics of the song, it is. Oh Lord, we need to find out. Ask questions. There are good songs out there.
Let's bring this back home a little bit now. Speaking from this is faith and reason, and one of the goal is to bring a balance between faith and reason. So I want us to look at it from the standpoint of our faith. There are things that we do in church that are enjoyable towards our feelings. It boosts our feelings, but they are not okay for our faith. So I want to ask, how does this affect the very core, the very foundation of our faith? How does it affect the things that we hold there in terms of the sacredness of the church and the stand of the household of faith? How does this particular type of action, how does it affect us?
Okay, yeah, it does affect us in many ways. You see, some of these actions, even though they look seemingly harmless. They look harmless. When it starts like this, it becomes a trend. And once it becomes a trend, you understand, it now invades the church and the system. The first point is that if people have started belittling the hallowed altar of God to use it as a platform for engaging ladies, now this is part of the whole activity. Ladies can be worshiping and be expecting maybe that my guy is this Sunday.
He has plans for me.
Maybe it's this Sunday, so I don't know which Sunday is coming. And then, maybe the guy is in technical, he's just going back to go and and she's like, he's like, is he coming? I'm not on a lighter note, anyways.
Yeah.
But our hearts will be set on other things. We are expecting other things other than God. We are expecting somebody to just do something funny in church. We are expecting, we can as well turn it to a fanfare. Let us have comedy, let people come and act. You see, the problem is that some of this error that started as a small thing, today, you don't know what it will become in 10 years.
Yeah, true.
So it's better to track them down now and kill it, because if you allow it, after 10 years, you won't know what this will become.
That's true.
When we started struggling with this issue of people saying once saved, forever saved, which I don't want to bring on this show, it did not start big like this. It started as somebody saying, but if Jesus has died, his blood is so potent, nothing can happen after. At least, then an honest man said, Kai, I'm so privileged to have this. Another man said, the privilege you have is past, present, and future. Even if you do anything you want to do, this privilege remains. It is moving from one level to another. You know, the next stage that we may move from people proposing is that, on this stage, why can't you people just, at least they are proposed to you, what they do in the world is that they hug and kiss. Why can't you hug and kiss on stage? And pastor be doing, the ladies are, you know, see, the whole matter is that let's trivialize what's happening on stage. I went to social media last night and somebody posted something. And then in the comment section, somebody said Christianity is a joke.
I've seen that many times too.
Somebody said Christianity is a joke, and a lot of people are going there to like it. Some are saying, yes, it's a joke. There's nothing about Christianity. If we don't honor this thing we are doing, who will honor it for us? If we don't hold it sacred, who will?
So Jane, let me get your take.
Well, for me, for me, you see this thing we are talking about now, like he said, I really agree with what he said. This thing, as it's coming into the church gradually, the moment it stays and builds a tent and begins to have a family, you see all kinds of things.
Start growing.
It begins to grow into things that we can't even imagine. The church will begin to lose its real essence. See, God, there is a reason why we are a church. There is a reason why we are Christians. We are meant to shine. We are meant to shine in the world. It is not, these things, it is affecting, it is really shaking, because the thing is, there are a lot of things that has happened, that's come into the church, that although there are many things that the church has not allowed, right? That is why these things need to go out. The ministers of God need to play their part. They really need to play their part in ensuring that there is order in the church. They need to play their part to teach the people of God to revere, to reverence God, to reverence His altar, to reverence His holy place. The church, yes, they might say, oh, we are the church, but there is a structure that is there, that has been put up, where the people of God come to meet and call upon the name of the Lord. It is a holy place.
Wow.
It should really, it is something that the fear of God needs to return to the church. It needs to return to the church.
I want to read the scripture
Okay.
from 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 15. It said, I write so you may know, this was Paul speaking to Timothy. Said, I write so you may know how you ought to conduct yourself in the house of God, which is the church of the living God, the pillar and the ground of truth. I just want to, you know.
It's good you said this, because the way you started, when we started, the kind of things you said when we started the conversation, how like you were on the side of the people proposing. Now you have brought the scripture. I like it.
You know,
it's good.
What I'm going to say, because of time, is that I think we should now have like regulatory bodies, or the church should find a way to put like regulation on all of these things, to put like a check so that we can begin to understand where we are crossing the line.
Yeah, we are not trying to control the people in the church. We are just trying to ensure that there is order in the church.
You know, I don't know whether you people are seeing it too, but me, with the way I'm seeing it is that if that kind of thing is allowed in the church, is as a result of the dysfunctionality that is already in the church. A God-fearing person, somebody who reveres God, who sees ministry as a special thing you are doing, who sees pouring his life into people and growing them spiritually, there is a way you will take this thing with seriousness.
I agree.
What I'm saying in essence is that that seriousness is lost. We don't even need to teach it. We don't even need regulatory bodies. If you really know God and how serious this business is, and how serious it is, there are some things you should not allow.
There
are some things you should not allow.
So,
Even choreography, even dancing in church, there are certain places There are certain occasions that should not permit. If it's not a youth program or something, there are certain places you should not be permitted.
Well, TK, I know you're on fire. This thing is in your blood. But we don't have enough time.
my
And
God.
I maybe hope we'll have a part 2 of this.
Okay.
But we are pressed for time. Well, I just want to say a big thank you,
Thank you
to
very
you
much.
both. But before we go, I just want to lay this out that everything said here are personal opinions of our guests and not that of Voice of One TV. But I hope you've learned one thing or two. So we've been able to talk about proposing to have it in church or not to have it in church. And it's been a very interesting conversation. I want to say a big thank you for staying with us until this time. And to Jane and Tokuma, you guys, thank God my head is still safe. I checked my neck, it's still in one place. And
We are children of at least one of you.
anyways, you guys are amazing. Well done. And to Sam, my co-host, always a delight. God bless you. And that's how much we can take on Faith and Reason today. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Voice of One TV. Until next time when we come your way again, stay blessed.